Hey everybody, check out this interview that we did with Vincent Rocco Vargas. You know him from the movie Range 15 and from the hit TV show The Mayans. He stopped by the Heroes Media Group booth at this year's 2018 VetXpo just before he went on stage for his discussion about the importance of keeping a true north. Check it out.
So it was a pretty cool world for me. It became the best thing I've ever done in my entire life outside of the military. I felt still in the military, it was cool, man. But the problem was, a big part of you'll hear me talk on tomorrow was about balance, and I was still never finding that work-life balance. And so I had to step away and figure that one out.
You think that's one of the things that I watch your videos and stuff like that, and I see your family man. And I'm a single dad. My son's 15, and he's mom's not in the picture, so it's just been him and I. So my hat's off to you, because coming from your background, and I didn't do anything that spectacular like you guys did. So I can't understand or even fathom how hard that would be trying to transition from one to the other.
I think I was always wanting to have a family. Like, I was raised by a really cool family. My parents were really dope. 4 kids in the household. So I knew what a solid family could be. And I always believed in doing that. But I started enjoying the mission now. You know what I mean? And I felt I was right. I felt I'm paying the bills. Dad's doing his job, and then, going through my first divorce, I ended up having a huge separation from the kids. Like, I wasn't seeing them at all now because I had no control over that.
Right.
And that was where I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I know now I was wrong all those years. And, like, how do I get that back?
Right.
But then I put myself in the same cycle with the Border Patrol, because you're like, well, you don't want to make a lot more money now. Well, now it's justified. And I just kept doing this. And, at one point, I finally made a decision. And still we talk about, like, we don't know what acting's gonna do, and potentially could fucking put me on that same path where I'm like, holy shit, you're doing it again, stop, So just trying to keep that, like, cognizant idea of, like, family first, you know what I mean? And it's been good for me to keep that on the forefront, you know what I mean, and think of it so often that I make hopefully better decisions. But obviously she also knows what I can do. She knows I fall in love with my projects, and keeps me grounded and like, all right, enough of that shit. Family. Yeah. Like, okay, you're right. And so that's something that we have a really good relationship, and the communication is really good. It keeps me grounded, which I need.
That's awesome.
So I go all in on everything, bro. It's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm all in.
So what is your bet? Like, what are your what? So family, but is there something specific with the family? Is it dinner together every night, or
no, man?
Hour,
like, the idea for me is really being relevant in their lives, and whatever that is, being relevant. Like, dad doesn't pay the bills, dad's here. Like, I'm here helping with homework, if I understand it, because there's shit I don't understand. But sports, playing capture the boy, showing your daughter wrestling techniques, whatever. Like, our kids wrestle, they do a lot of different sports, but being there at the game, cheering them on, whether they win or lose, just being there. Like, he can look to the sideline and see dad's there. Like, hell yeah, I am. If I'm home, I'm there. If I'm not home, it's because I had to do work, and it's important for family, right? We all got to be a breadwinner of some sort. We all have to bring home money. But for me, it's that cognizant idea of being there, taking them to school, dropping them off. Like, those little things that most people take for granted, I don't anymore. Right. You know what I mean? I don't. One of my sons says, I want to be a stay-at-home dad like you. And I was like, that's the fucking dumbest compliment I've ever got. And I'm not a stay-at-home dad, but he sees me so much. In his head, that's what I do. And I was like, bro, you're doing all right. You're doing what your goal is. You know what I mean? Like, I try and turn the phone off early. I try and turn it off. Right now I've been writing this book, so it hasn't been, but normally I try and turn it off around 8 and stop with the phone completely, because a lot of my work is done here, whether it's reaching out to veterans, whether it's business, whatever it is. But we schedule a lot of family stuff. We didn't carve pumpkins, we painted pumpkins this year. But these are things that we eat dinner together on the table. We do things like that. We force the kids to sit down and watch a movie with us. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah.
Get up here and we're watching a movie. They can hate it all they want, but that moment, they're going to remember. You know what I mean? And so we're just kind of forcing them a little bit.
Yeah.
Forcing ourselves too,
Well, and that's good, because that's all studies have shown that the more you do it to them and their kids, they're going to do it to their kids when they get a little older, and it's going to be a repeating cycle. Where you have the other side with fathers that either aren't there or don't pay attention or are abusive or whatever. It tends to create a cycle of its own. Now you're looking out not just for your kids, but your kids' kids and their kids, right? Starting them on this path. get them outdoors. There's a lot of studies that show that's a huge benefit to them, because the more a kid is outdoors, the more likely they are to be outdoors and take their kids outdoors.
That's why the sports thing is so big for us, right? Like I've learned so much in sports. I contribute a lot of my ability to bounce back, my resiliency to baseball.
Yeah.
Well, freaking life has been baseball, man. And that game is the hardest damn sport you're ever going to play. Right? You're trying to hit a round ball with a round bat and hit it square. Like, that ain't going to happen. You're a good baseball player if you hit 30%, right? Like, that's a game of failure. And I lived it. 4 to 22. Fail. Finding this small success, but being able to, like, okay, cool, next game, I'll do it again.
Right.
Or, like, taking small notes and growing from that and getting better each time, and finding this small success and seeing that success, like, okay, I'm getting better. That was my life for so many years, and I never realized what I was doing was building the resiliency, getting into the military, having some hardships there with friends getting lost in combat or in training. I had a buddy that was hard, man, but at the same time, it's like, okay, keep out doing the mission, right? You know what I mean? Big thing I talk about with veterans is I think we all have an anniversary date that we can remember, that the day we try and drink ourselves to drink the numb away, right? You know, March 18th is a big one for me, and for years that was the date I was going to drink to show these guys I didn't forget them, and put a beating on myself. And it was in a way I was damaging, hurting myself, because that's how much I felt inside. I was hurt, and I was upset, and I was just confused, but I felt like maybe I was honoring them. I can't forget about you guys, so I'm going to drink until I fucking puke, right? And that mindset is like, where the hell did that come from? And I know I'm not the only one. We all seem to do this, right? And that's when I decided, like, nope, there's no way. And I'm a man of faith, so I believe that they got to be looking down at me and saying, that's not what I intended for you to do, right? Like, I'm sure if they could look down on us and say something, it's like, use that life the best you can, dude, because we don't get the opportunity.
Right.
And so that's why it's kind of like living for them as much as possible, right? Like trying to make them proud, even though whether acknowledging it ever or whatever the case, I have to in my heart believe that I have to use this life to best of my abilities, man, because we have friends who sort of sacrifice that for us. Who are we to freaking, let them die in vain like that?
Yeah. So do you have anything that you personally do as a way, rather than drinking yourself into a stupor, as a way to kind of honor their memory? Like we got the Ranger bracelets for our buddies, we got other things. Is there something that you have?
For me, it's like I write their story. You know, I do a lot of blogs, I do a lot of talking podcasts. Those things will live on for a long, long time, and as long as I continue to acknowledge their presence in my heart, man, I feel like they live on with me.
Right.
You know, and the reason I went Border Patrol was because Sergeant Barraza told me about what the Border Patrol was. He goes, hey, I want to be a Border Patrol, I want to be a board tagger. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, what is that? And he explained it to me. I got out and I was like, cool. And I was living his dream for a long time, and I was happy, but it wasn't as fulfilling as what I'm doing now.
Right.
Helping veterans, like being a service to others for me is what's fulfilling. But at the same time, I knew, at least I felt like I made him proud to live his dream for a little while. You know what I mean? To do him justice, and I continue to try and do that. I continue to try and tell their stories and keep them alive, and people remembering their memory. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you check out all of our other videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also check out our website at www.heroesmediagroup.com.